Go, man. Hey, good evening, America, man. This is 11 or 12, 13, 12, 13, 24. What's good with Gil and Larry? I don't want to waste no time, man. We got a full slate, so I want to get right into it, man. Let's go. Let's go. We got some major news in MLB, a major signing that took place. Man, I got my opinions on it, but I'm gonna let you shoot off the hip first because I definitely got my opinions on it. But what you think about that Otani going to the Dodgers yeah.
Man, let me tell you, this show is going to be opinions galore. So we got to hit the ground running. So let's do it. The biggest contract in Major League Baseball history for a single player by far, or is it? Shohei Otani is expected to sign a deal officially with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So he's not really moving very far, but he is going to I guess a bigger market in LA because the Angels are Anaheim, they're Ocean County and stuff like that. They're more like the suburbs, but real hardcore LA. That's where the Dodgers play.
Yeah.
But he's not really going to have to uproot anybody. Him, his family, his friends, the people that work for him, no one. He winds up signing a $700 million contract over the span of 10 years, which comes out to, let's do the math, $70 million a year. However, he approached the team and had asked them, how much can I defer? So they said, well, how much do you want to defer? Which means backload the money.
Right.
He said, all of it. They said, we can't legally do all of it. We have to, at minimum, pay you the minimum. So they came up with a number of $2 million per season. So that means this $700 million deal is actually backloaded to where in the next 10 years, he's only going to make $20 million, which means after the 10th year, then he's owed $680 million. In doing that, it keeps the team under the luxury tax and allows them to go after another big name if they want to do that. And the big name is the other Japanese pitcher, Yamamoto. Otani wants Yamamoto to come to LA, and now they have the money to do it. So now people are like, whoa, there's no way, this isn't legal, blah, blah. Isn't it though? Does everybody remember Bobby Bonilla signing that big deal? Bobby Bonilla hasn't played for the New York Mets since 1994, I believe. Could be 93, but I think it's 94. Do you know he's still making $1.2 million a year every year? And the Mets weren't his last team. He was with a couple of other teams.
Right.
After he left the Mets, he hasn't played since the early 2000s, but he's still making $1.2 million a year because of that deal that the Mets did in the mid 90s. This is what's going to happen with the Dodgers. They are going to, because obviously they're not going to, in his 11th year, give him $680 million, but they're probably going to break it up. So who knows? I mean, he's so friendly. He might tell him, hey, break it up over the next 50 years, because money's really not an option for him per se, because he's estimated to make $50 million a year just in sponsorships and advertisement. So he didn't really need his, subjectional, I guess, but it's pretty cool that he approached the team with this. And of course they're jumping for joy. But now the rest of MLB is like, this can't be. This is the rich getting richer without having to pay. They're bringing in more talent, and they're paying minimum dollars. How is this possible? How does this go over all of our heads?
Once again, I respect it. I applaud it. I think it's great for baseball. At the end of the day, man, listen, they make so much money, right? like after a while, are you a champion or are you just chasing some money, right? Because as a competitor, once you came in, you got your money, right? Because you got figured this is not his first contract. So he already had money from the previous contract, right? So my thing is this as an athlete, if I'm already secure, my family's secure for financially, right? What am I playing the game for? I'm playing the game for wins. I want my legacy be submitted with championships. I want to go down as one of the greatest. Okay, so once we got the money out the way, now I can focus on the game, right? He just came off a losing franchise, man. Like seriously, you've been there, and they didn't have a winning season the whole time he's been there, right? He is clearly one of the best players in baseball, if not the best player in baseball. It's kind of hard to determine that because of positions. You know what I mean? Um, he was paired with Mike Trout, which definitely was one of the better players in baseball, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Okay. Now you're going to a star-studded team, a loaded team in LA, super loaded, um, who has a winning culture, who understands the aspect of winning, right? So for him, I already got my money, so I'm not chasing the money. If you're gonna make me the highest paid baseball player, cool, But at the end of the day, I'm going to it was between them and the Giants. Giants actually matched that offer too. It was between them and the Giants, right? For me, it'd have been a no-brainer. I'm going to the Dodgers. Dodgers loaded. One thing about Dodgers management, man, they know how to pick some players, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily saying that you got a loaded team that you're going to necessarily win. You still got to have a culture, and all that above. As you know, the Yankees, we just got Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Hello.
yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. Hopefully,
Boom.
I love it. I love it personally because you need them type of players. You need them glue players, man. You need them Derek Jeter type players, man. It can't just be the long ball. We sold out on the long ball. And as you know, baseball, yeah, it's cool, but you need them on base hitters. That's why Houston was so good. That's why Texas was so good because one, they had outstanding pitching and they had people to get you on base. So for me, I applaud them, man. I applaud it. I'm glad that one athlete was able to sacrifice personal stuff so that he could see a legacy being built. So I think hopefully more players take after that model. If you want to win, now if you want to lose a team, yeah, well, go get the money. If I'm on a bum team, go give me the money. Okay. That's my opinion on it. I dig it. I dig it. Because it's not like he's gonna go broke. He got endorsements. He got all types of things going on. Like money's the least of his options for real. For real.
Right.
It's a plus, a salute to them for acknowledging his skill set. I mean, he worked for it though. I mean, look, man, he didn't work for it. He's a two-way player. He was going to definitely be the
position player.
Two positions. Right. So, and he's dominant at both positions. When the last time you seen a pitcher did hit a long ball
like that?
like that?
A pitcher that's an ace on 20 out of 30 teams, and he'll be the number 2 on the other 10 and give you 40 home runs, hitting 270. I could think of one guy, and there's only one that's ever done. His name is Babe Ruth.
Yeah, he did pitch.
His name is Babe Ruth. He pitched when he was with Boston.
He sure did.
And then when he got traded to the Yankees, he stopped pitching and became a full-time hitter.
Yep. That's a fact.
He's got 90-something wins. I think he's got 93 wins as a pitcher. As a pitcher who only pitched a quarter of his carear. 93 wins. Who would ever
thought in a million years that we would be talking about the pitcher? Because I was always my thing, man. Where we had a pitcher that could hit, because the pitcher's guaranteed out for the most part. That's a guaranteed out, So now you got a guy that you literally can pit behind your slugger. You can make him a slugger. That's crazy.
He's in the middle of the lineup.
He's in the middle of
the middle of that lineup.
That's crazy.
It's going to be Mookie Betts, right? It's going to be Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be Shohei Ohtani. He's going to be batting number 3. He's got Tommy John surgery, so he's not going to pitch this year. So he's only going to be a full-time hitter. He'll be a full-time hitter, full-time DH, and then 2025 is when he'll be pitching and hitting.
That's crazy.
The deal is ridiculous in so many ways, and it's probably going to change. they're probably gonna not allow this to continue because he won't be the only great player to ever play for the major league. I mean, I know it's been a while since there's been a great pitcher that can also, hit very well too, but he won't be the last. And I'm thinking it's not going to be another 100 years like it was, between him and
Yeah,
Babe.
between Wolf, yeah.
Babe Ruth's prime was in the late teens through the 20s. So I love it. I love to see the player get paid. I love that they bucked the system. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it because he's going to get his money.
Oh, for
But
sure.
it's worked out that the rich are going to get richer without ever really having to pay for the next 10 years. I'm fine with it. I mean, realistically, where was he going to go? He wasn't going to stay with Anaheim.
Mhm.
What was in play? LA number 1, San Francisco probably number 2,
Yeah.
the Cubs number 3, Yankees 4, Mets 5, but Yankees and Mets were distant because he wanted to stay on the West Coast.
Right.
He didn't want to go where it was real cold. So even Chicago was a distance. So really it was LA and the Giants. Those were the real 2 players. If you're really, I don't want to play in the cold, especially if I'm a pitcher, then then it was West Coast or bust.
All day long.
You got to think about the organizations that could have gave him the money, and but apparently maybe there would have been more in the hunt if after the fact he would have offered them this deal. I just think it's so crazy that he came up with this.
Yeah,
He
that's
came up
crazy.
and he's the unicorn. He is the modern day Babe Ruth, and he's from Japan.
Ain't that something, man? Who would ever thought?
Yeah.
Who would ever thought, man?
Whoever thought you'd have a big superstar like this who I have not heard speak once in English? Not once. He's been
Not
in the
once.
major leagues for what, 6 years now?
Yeah.
That's what they said. He's won 2 MVPs. He won.
Man,
He
that's
won this
crazy.
last MVP, and he didn't even play the last 6 weeks.
That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
And then he lived up to the hype. That's another thing. He lived up to the hype. Like he came in.
He exceeded the hype.
He did. Because he came in hype, and for him to live up to that and excel once again, the game has to evolve. The players have to evolve. It's just the evolution of just life. You know what I mean? That's the evolution of life, man. Man. So, but moving on, right?
Yeah. Let's move on. We got more to do. I need you to give me a recap of the Haney fight this past week.
Man,
I know he won. Give me details.
It was what I thought it was going to be, literally. Devin Haney. What I told you before. When you only rely on one punch, if you can't beat Devin Haney with just one punch. He's that skilled. He's that skilled. They always talk about him because they said first he was the paper champion, then he don't fight nobody, then he don't have no punching power, and yada yada yada. But all he does is beat whoever he puts in front of him, and he beats him decisively. The Lomachenko fight you could say was questionable, right? But he beat him. Lomachenko didn't win the fight. Okay, you could say tied best, but you wasn't gonna say he won the fight because he did. But this one, power came up. He pit my man on his kisser in the 4th round. He put him down. Caught him with a good shot. He literally took away his best punch, which was the left power punch, right? And it was just a masterful display of just dominance. He dominated the champion from 1 to 12. No, I haven't seen a fight where a pure dominance in a while like that, Gil. When I literally watched this dude beat him from 1 to 12, the dude did not win one round. That is rare, So he then came up. He was confident. He was good. I mean, he didn't have no marks. He didn't really get hit with anything. He punished him like he was, but then it was an easy fight to kind of gauge, man. The guy's footwork was bad. He was flat-footed. Whatever his team was trying to tell him wasn't smart. He's looking to try to land the big shot, which is setting him up to catch a whole bunch of shots. So whoever was in his corner just didn't give him a good time of preparing. Once again, they could have had a game plan, but as fighters sometimes want to do their own thing. It could have been that type of situation. But I can tell you that it was just a brilliant display of boxing on Haney's part. He's a problem. He's a real deal. And honestly, you know, they keep talking about him fighting Tank Davis. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Tank will have to come up to 140. Devin's not going to go down to 135. If anything, Devin go all the way to 147, honestly. You know, challenge some guys at 147. So I thought it was a great fight. Yeah, that's my recap for that weekend. I thought it was a great fight. He's a champion now. He's a WBC champion at 140. Hopefully, maybe he get the Josh Taylor fight. Who knows? You know, Josh Taylor is right now has all the rest of 3 belts. So if he wants to be undisputed, he'll fight Josh Taylor. You know, which I think he could beat Josh Taylor. Honestly, man, I think the guy is just he's definitely the real deal. You know, he's a boxer. He's a boxer, straight up. Yeah.
Who's his promoter? Is it Eddie Hearn?
Dad. His dad.
Oh, okay.
His dad. Yeah. So they I know they do a lot of stuff with Eddie Hearns. You feel me? From over Australia, you know, but he is his promoter. Once they got that contract with I believe it was Bob Arum. He was under Bob Arum. They didn't want to give him the fights. Same situation that Floyd was in. You know what I mean? When Floyd was signed at Top Rank, I believe, at the time. And they wouldn't give him the big fights. You know, they wouldn't let him fight the big guys. So once that contract was annulled, his dad took over. He said, listen. And that's why a lot of them fights wasn't made because of the fact that his dad was his promoter. You know?
I feel you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Good insight, by the way. So you and I kind of were talking about the Heisman last week, and
you were right.
I guess I pulled that one out.
You were right. Like I didn't really see Jaden. Like I thought that Penix would I saw more Penix than I did of Jaden, right? But then when I went back and looked at some of his highlights, I was like, wow, he was exciting.
Ridiculous.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Like for real. He was excited. So once he won it, I'm not surprised. I think he deserved it. You know what I mean? Especially looking at his highlights. Was it because could the team been a little better? Yeah, I mean that's his only knock. He wasn't on the they won. They had a winning record. It's just that
they were
more. You know,
they were 9-3.
Yeah,
they just didn't have a good
rank. Right. It's just that them early losses, and once again, that's just you trying to catch a groove. But as far as him, yeah, he's exciting. Yeah, and I think, like you said, translating to the next level. Yeah, with the right team. Yeah, he's definitely exciting, man. So, you know, I think the right Heisman Trophy winner was chosen, in my opinion. No shade on Penix Jr., man. He had a great year, but my man was really he was a playmaker.
Yeah. Like
for real. Exciting. Like you said it. You called it. You said, man, like a video game. He looked like a video game, man. Now he remind me of Lamar in Louisville, but just man, when he hit them holes and he's gone, bro. He's fast and he's tall.
He's a little on the thin side.
Yeah.
He's a little small that way, but I remember Lamar Jackson was
Lamar was the same way though. He was built the same way coming out.
Yeah. And he's not built like that anymore.
Nah. So NFL gonna beef you up, man.
Yeah, they'll beef you up. They get you on these protein programs and stuff like that. These guys put on 15 to 20 pounds, no problem.
No problem.
I mean, you just want to make sure with the extra size you don't lose the speed.
Right.
And that was his weapon, the speed and the elusiveness to create plays. Some guys do get slower by having that extra muscle, and some other guys, stay the same. So I think he might have worked his way into the first round if he declares. Sure. I think he might have.
Caleb still goes one. Caleb still goes one.
I still think Caleb goes one. And I still think Drake May goes two. But then after that, Bo Nix, I would say, in my opinion, would be 3 right now. Penix would be 4. And I think Daniels would be 5. I think he could have 5 first rounders. The thing about Daniels is he's so raw because he depends so much on his athleticism to really run an offense and bail himself out of trouble.
Well,
And you know how it goes because Justin Fields has this problem. You make the first read, the guy's not open. It's your instinct to run,
yeah,
not to go through the progression.
yeah.
And especially if you go to a bad team with a bad offensive line, it's hard to stay in the pocket and go through your reads. So
That's a
he's, he's going to have, rookie setbacks like they all will. He brings a different kind of flavor. He's got a different kind of game. You get him on the right team, obviously. You get him on the wrong team, and then he's wasted. So we'll see how it goes. It might work out better for him to go later in the first round, so you
right.
go to a better team.
Right, indeed. Indeed. That way you can get behind a veteran. You can sit there, you're not rushing to a situation like Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Because
maybe you
I'm
could
not,
sit behind a veteran for 2 or 3 years, like
and
Jordan Love did.
I still stand on the fact that um I still think that Bryce Young, even though he's going through, like, if I want to go through anything, I want to go through my rookie year. If I'm gonna have my worst year in football, I want to be my rookie year, because right now the game's fast, the coverages, all that stuff. But if he is who I think he could be, once again, they're gonna need it. I just don't like the franchise he's under, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Because when you're firing your coaches, you're not even allowing them to establish a system. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to build a winning culture when you're firing your coaches when they go through a little skit. What did you expect? Once again,
Yeah.
Tepper. Now you fired Frank Wright, and you still look bad. You look worse now than you did when you had Frank Reich as coach. So I just think it's a crap show down there. Unfortunately, Bryce Young got drafted to a terrible organization, in my opinion. Yes, we're always going to compare him to C.J. Stroud. And by the way, you was at that game. You were at that game.
Yes, I was. I was at that game. I apologize for not being able to get interviews and footage, but it was raining out
It
the
was.
whole game
It was.
with my wife and my stepdaughter. Someone's got to hold the phone, and it wasn't going to be either one of them. So I would have done interviews outside. Sometimes the rain was light, and then sometimes it was heavy. You can't bring an umbrella inside. You could only wear a poncho. And then there were all these cameras inside, so it's not like I would have been able to talk to the people on the inside. So it just didn't work out. Hopefully I'll be at another event where I can talk to the people out in the parking lot while they're tailgating, and then show some kind of footage on the inside. But I doubt that I'm going to go to a stadium or an arena and be able to talk to people on the inside. Plus it's going to be so loud.
Yeah.
I was in the clubhouse. Well, it's called the 50 Club, and it was probably like 150 people in there. It's ground level, so I can't. It's hard to see the game over the people on the sideline and the players and stuff like that. That's the only negative. But I mean, there's food and beverage the whole time. It's the buffet that you can dream of, and they got TVs all over the place. So you're watching the game knowing that there are stones throw away outside actually playing, and I'm stuffing my face and drinking whatever I want to drink. It's fantastic. And I got the hookup. I'm not supposed to say how I got the hookup. Shh.
Hey.
But I got the hookup, and that's why I go once a year, and I'm not going to go just when the Bears are at the Meadowlands. I'm going to go wherever I could get the VIP treatment, as they say.
Fans, it was a great game. If you was a Jet fan.
God, it was. And you know what's funny? There were Houston Texans fans there.
Were there?
I really wanted to. I was ragging on them a little bit walking out of the stadium. I'm like, man, can you believe you come to the one game the Jets play well? And
Hey, that's the truth.
You're right. Like, you believe that? But I'm thinking to myself, how the heck are you in northern New Jersey,
a Houston
fan of the Houston Texans? This is not the Houston Oilers
right
now as the Texans, because the Houston Oilers left and became the Tennessee Titans.
Indeed.
This is the Houston Texans that I believe it was 2002.
Yeah.
Was their inaugural year, so this is like their 21st year.
Yeah, they are first team.
They drafted David Carr.
Yep,
that was their first pick.
Yep.
David Carr. They had the first pick.
Yeah,
You know,
so for you to say you're a Houston Texans fan, you must be
yeah.
from you gotta be.
What made you a Houston? Because they've only been good in 21 years, maybe five,
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
five.
Deshaun Watson years. They're a nice team, Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson.
Watson and who was that other guy? Number 8 used to
Oh,
play for
Schaub,
Atlanta.
Schaub,
Matt Schaub.
Schaub, not Schaub. Yep.
Those, so under Matt Schaub, a couple years
Yeah,
they
they
were
did.
pretty
They had
good.
some good years. Yep.
Under Deshaun Watson, a couple years they're pretty good, and they're pretty good this year with Stroud. But I'll tell you, man, Stroud had the deer in the headlights look.
Oh, it was
I
crazy.
don't know if it was the
Oh,
weather. I don't know if it was the defense, and then he went into concussion protocol in the fourth
yeah,
quarter.
yeah.
I'm not
I
even
mean,
sure he's
it
playing
was
next
all. It
week.
was already over by then, though. I mean, it was already over
Yeah,
by then. Zach Wilson looked like
but the first half, they were tied at I think it was nothing
it
at
was.
the
It
half.
was. It was nothing. Nothing. Zach Wilson had the second half of his life. You know. Uh, yeah. I ain't gonna go into our NFL yet because I got some stuff to talk about when it comes to NFL. Jackie doing the cursing. You feel me?
Oh,
But
yeah, there's plenty to talk about. But yeah, so I had a great Sunday. I had a great
oh
Sunday
man,
because my Bears won. We'll talk about that. The Jets won. We'll talk about that. I know your Sunday was pretty good too.
it was great. It was
um,
great.
but and being able to spend the day with my wife and my stepdaughter was the icing on the cake.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into a little bit of sports entertainment, shall we? WWE, we talked about CM Punk coming back. We also talked about the real beef that Seth Rollins has with CM Punk. And I think on Monday, when Seth Rollins came out and faced CM Punk in the middle of the ring, microphone to microphone, I think that was a shoot. I don't think that was a work. I think that was real. I think Seth Rollins was talking from the heart. And when he looked right in CM Punk's face and said, "I hate you," I believe he meant it. I do. Now, I think this eventually is going to come together and probably be the main event of either night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. And I'm already predicting that CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble in January. I mean, it's all there. It would
You
be
know what?
such a if he doesn't win it. They'll probably minimize how much action he's going to get just to not risk him getting hurt before entering the Royal Rumble. But that's what I see happening. I see CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. I see him challenging Seth Rollins, pointing up to the WrestleMania sign, challenging Seth Rollins for the title. And when two guys really don't like each other, which guy is going to be able to take the back seat? Because that's what was great about The Rock and Cena a little over a decade
Yeah.
ago. Because at first they didn't like each other. They did not. It was legit. So who was going to be the guy that was going to, say, okay, tonight's your night. I'll get you on the rematch at another pay-per-view a year later or SummerSlam or something like that. But tonight's your night. Who's going to do what's right for the business? Because I'll tell you right now, especially from Seth Rollins' point of view, he really has a personal problem with CM Punk, and he's the champ. So is he going to be willing to do the right thing? What do you think?
I was shoot. Whoo. Talking about CM Punk. You talking about CM Punk do the right thing. Yeah, he done grown. I know he loves what he does. He always loved what he does. He's great in-ring performer. I mean, if he matured some, then I think he'll bite it for the business. You know, I think Seth Rollins definitely can. You know what I mean? I think you see the bigger picture. Yes, you're right. They don't like each other. I don't think it's too many people that do like CM Punk, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm looking at I was actually looking at something with Roman Reigns because they asked Roman Reigns would he would he entertain the thought of him and building up something with him and CM Punk. And he said, honestly, man, for the business, I'll do it for the business. If they, for the product, I'll do it. But personally, I don't like the guy. I don't like him. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do like him. But for us to put a great product out there, I'll bite the bullet for that. And that's a great question, man. That's a great question. Will CM Punk rather be able to bite the bullet, so to speak, just so they can build up something great? That's honestly, man. I think he can. I think he can. I don't think he came back to be with the same antics that he left with. Honestly,
Mhm.
We already know how he felt about Triple H. And
Mhm.
to his credit, Triple H is actually one of the dudes that kind of brought him back. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's growth in
It's what's
itself.
best for business. It's what's
Yeah,
best for business. Bring
that's for
him back.
business. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if he could see that Triple H is willing to do that for the business, like, come on. And then some stuff just gets old after a while, man. We understand how you truly feel about it. We understand how passionate you are about it. But after a while, it becomes this old pony that we just don't want to ride no more. You know what I mean? For real. If you came back to do all that crazy stuff you did before you left, man, because you done went around the ring, you went around all these other franchises, and you come to realization like, hey, it ain't as bad here as it was in other places. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not sure CM Punk really had much of a choice anyway. When he left WWE the first time, joined the UFC, got smashed there.
Oh, yes.
Real fighting, real ass whoopings. Then he does get back into professional wrestling, goes with the other company. I'm not even going to say the enemy or the rival because they still don't get ratings like WWE
No,
does. They
no.
still don't perform in arenas that WWE does.
Yeah.
WWE is there and they're in arenas packing the place at almost 20,000,
That's a fact.
twice a week,
That's a
every
fact.
week. AEW is not doing that. They're not doing that.
Nah, you get
So,
high school gyms. You get high
right.
school
So,
gyms. You know what I
but
mean?
CM Punk, he got himself out of there. He had two separate instances, almost a year apart. He had a suspension and got in trouble again. And I think he was very fortunate that Triple H reached out to him.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to work out for the best. But it's always that first big match with two guys that really don't like each other. Who's the one that's going to put the other guy over? Bret Hart,
Yup. With
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
For
Right.
that 1996.
Yeah.
That's as real as it gets.
Yeah.
That was two guys at the top of their game that would not bow down to the other guy to the
Yup.
point where they had to do the Montreal screw job.
Yup.
Which I think we both agreed we did not blame the WWE for that. I actually think Bret was wrong in that particular instance because he
Indeed.
was leaving.
Indeed.
He chose to leave to sign a bigger deal with the enemy. WCW was the rival
That's a fact.
of WWE. WCW went like 2 years with better ratings head to head on the same night as WWE.
He knew why he did it, though. He knew why he did it. He knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? So once again, you can't.
100%.
And like you said, you get an example when he went over there before and burnt the belt up, trashed the belt. Like, so you forced their hand in that situation, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what you expected. I'm gonna let you
Mhm.
pin him, and he's gonna be the new face of WWE. Nah. So he's all right. Yeah, you're right. Montreal screw job. Call it what you want to call it. I just call it, hey man, I gotta protect my asset.
Business. What's
It's
best for business?
Best for business.
Not to really get into it, but how is it best for business for the WWE to let the guy win and then leave with the belt? How is that? How does that make any sense? Why? Because it was in Montreal and I'll drop it the next night? No. You're dropping it tonight.
You're
You're
daggone
dropping
right.
it tonight. What is Montreal going to love you less because you're going to lose? It was expected that you would lose.
Right.
Do the right thing. I love Bret Hart. I love Bret. I like Bret more than Shawn Michaels. But I got to be honest. I thought he was wrong. And him spitting on Vince McMahon and punching him in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, he got away with that. He got away
Yeah.
because he would have been sued. Vince McMahon would have paid more money for his lawyers than Bret Hart would have been able to afford, and he would have won in some kind of compensation, and he didn't do that. So say what you want about Vince, but I think Vince looked out for the company. Bret looked out for himself.
Thanks.
That's my opinion on that. Okay, so we'll move on from that. Let's talk a little NBA.
Yeah.
The in-season tournament ended. The Lakers won the tournament, the first ever in-season tournament. So listen, there'll be others, but there will only be one that won it the first time. So congratulations to the Lakers on that. Now, I gotta say, the fact that I saw LeBron James drinking champagne going into the final game, and then the Lakers putting up a banner in the rafters for the ins. Oh, I don't know
Yeah,
about
see me, I felt the same way, brother.
a
I just
6-week tournament.
I felt
You're
the
gonna
same
treat
way.
that like a
Look,
almost like an NBA Finals
no,
championship, a half a step behind it.
no.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
that part right there, bro. Like you talking about that part, like I give him a trophy. I'm with that, But you talking about hosting a banner? Nah, nah, not for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you see all those championships,
no,
17 championships.
no.
You see all those retired players. I'm talking about
Yes,
magical, mythical retired players. The ones that even if you didn't watch basketball, everyone's heard of Magic Johnson. Everyone's heard of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay. Most people heard of James Worthy. A lot of people have heard of Mikan. I mean, it goes on and on. Jerry West, the logo. And then the in-season tournament.
Like I think the NBA took that way too far, bro. Like I didn't know they was gonna do all that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know they was gonna do all
did
that.
the NBA do that, or did LeBron James do that?
I mean, he's in basketball.
He's always looking for something to be like, Jordan didn't do this. Jordan didn't do this.
Yeah, but as a fan, I mean, like I told you, it done grew on me somewhat, but still that part right there, I think it would be more of a motivator. It's if you win that tournament, especially being the Lakers, in which I've been through the last couple years, I think that would be motivation for me and to show my teammates that hey, if we could win this whole thing. You know what I mean? We can win this whole. If we could play this type of ball, but once again, what we talking about? Talking about a single game. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you get the playoffs, you're talking about the best out of 7.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the difference. That's the hooker, man. Like, Lakers probably could beat anybody any given day that won the game. My question is, can you beat them in a series? When the momentum shifts, when you gotta go to their home and beat them in their house, that plays a huge factor in the playoffs. The home court advantage does play a factor. When you have to go to Denver in that high altitude, and the Joker and them is clicking because they used to playing here. They go on these crazy runs, and you don't get the momentum back at your home place because they go down to LA and beat the dog out you in your own place. You feel me? So that's why I can't really get too hyped with the end season tournament. Not all the champagne popping and nah. Now, give me a little ring, give me a little plaque, whatever, cool. That's what's happening. Yo, we got more to do. Thank you for this chip, but we got more to do. That's how we look at it. It's like a mid-season thing. Yes, we got to accomplish. We accomplished something that nobody has done yet because it just started. But far as me to sit there and pop a bottle and hoist the banner, nah, I think that's not happening. That's a joke.
I'll tell you what, that was a great point about the home field, like with Denver.
Yeah.
Denver has a huge, not home field, home court.
Yeah, home court. Yeah.
Not because of like the crowd or anything,
No,
but because of the elevation.
You're damn all right.
Of playing there in Denver, and they did not have to worry about that at all. Listen,
No.
I don't want to discredit the Lakers, but when you go overboard, which seems to happen a lot with LeBron, that's when it's like, hey man, let's pump the brakes. Congratulations, but don't, that's like him saying, nobody ever won a championship in the bubble. Only we did it. So, that puts me ahead. of LeBron and
Uh,
Kobe, not LeBron and Kobe and
Kobe, I mean,
Jordan, and winning that championship in Cleveland, being down 3-1, that puts me ahead of Jordan and stuff like that. No, bro, you want to be ahead of Jordan? Win 7 championships. That's how you.
yeah,
That's how you make
yeah.
an argument.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
how
and
you.
then our argument as being Jordan, we are definitely pro Jordan when it comes to
Yeah,
the
100%.
GOAT, and our assessment of that is not because we're saying even the chips do have a part to play in it. That's not. I think for me,
Mhm.
speaking as him being a GOAT, it ain't really necessarily the chips for me. It's a fact that in the fourth quarter, when the game was on the line or if it wasn't on the line, you just know the fourth quarter was his time. He'll coast from
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. Fourth quarter, Michael Jordan, that was Mr. Michael Jordan time. He was an
Mhm.
ultimate finisher. He was the only person I've seen outside that I could say had that killer gut was Kobe.
Kobe.
Where I'm going to kill you in the fourth quarter.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give it to the sixth man. I'm not giving to that guy.
Mhm.
No. Yes, I did give it to Paxson, you know what I mean? But I drew the attention. You feel me? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I was sick with the flu. And I hit the game
Still
winner
did it.
in
Still
Utah.
did it.
Crazy place to
Mhm.
play, by the way, back
Yeah.
then with that team.
Oh yeah.
Crazy environment.
Super loud, having
Oh, my
fireworks.
goodness. Utah
Oh yeah.
with that team,
Yeah.
man. With
With that
MVP,
coach,
Carl,
with two first ballot Hall of Famers.
and the MVP that year.
Yeah. Karl
And he was,
Malone.
yeah, Karl Malone was an MVP that year. So you had to go in
Mhm.
that environment with the
Mhm.
flu. Had to
Mhm.
get fluids at halftime.
Mhm.
So we done seen it. We done seen this dude run up the court like, I don't know.
Yep.
I come through I don't know. We seen it. Me and you have witnessed it, and
Mhm.
I'm not taking nothing away from LeBron James because even to be considered in the GOAT talk is a huge accomplishment. Think of all the people that play basketball at this level. There's only a handful of people we gonna say is at the GOAT level.
Mhm.
Quite arguably the greatest of all time level. A
Right.
handful.
Right.
We could go through generations, we could go through, but the problem is gonna be the same prize, same 10 and 5, 10 in rotation that we're gonna say is the greatest player of all times, right? Once
Right.
again, I just think greatness is greatness, man. I hate when somebody say the GOAT because it
Yeah.
depends. If you talk to my father, he might say freaking Julius Irvin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr.
Oh
J
yeah.
stuff
You're
you
it,
know?
it, it's just common for people to pick who was the best in their era that they
Indeed.
watch, that they
Indeed.
take attention to. You can't compare. I did this before. You can't compare Bob Cousy to Chris Paul. Bob Cousy didn't dribble with his left hand hardly. He had a hitch in his shot.
Mhm.
But in his era, he was the best point guard.
He was.
So,
He
but
was.
you can't. Bob Cousy would be a guy off the bench these days, despite what he had here.
Indeed.
He would be a bench behind a guy that is not even a star. But the eras are different. So yeah, a lot of people are going to say, well, back in my era, it was Dr. J, or it was George Mikan,
Right.
or
Or
was
Magic or
Elgin Baylor,
Bird. We could
like
talk
that. It
about,
was Larry Bird.
you know,
Fine.
cool.
Fine. Oh, in my era, it was the big man. So it was Shaq.
Right.
It was Hakeem
The last
Olajuwon.
one,
Like
right.
that. Okay. But in this era, you can't take away from what LeBron has done.
No.
LeBron has hit the ground running ever since he got into the league. He's won a lot. He's been in the league for over 20 years now. This is his 21st year, and he's going to probably play next year too. Try and play either with his son or against his son, but you'll see them on the court at some point. I think we're on the same page with this, but I don't want to assume anything. As far as LeBron James's legacy goes, does winning this tournament elevate him closer to Jordan, or does it keep him right where he is, like more secure where you have? For me, it's more secure that he's number 2. It doesn't inch him any closer
Yeah,
to Jordan, because when I make the comparison from Jordan to LeBron, I never bring up the him winning a championship in college.
right.
That's kind of the same format. No tour. I mean, it's a tournament, but not a series. Not a series.
Yeah,
So, I never used college and him winning in college over LeBron. I always stuck to NBA. So if people are going to say, "Well, this in-season tournament, it's something that Jordan never did." Number one, Jordan, was the first year that they've done it. You think Jordan wouldn't have gone all out to try and win it? Of course he would have.
right.
But Jordan's been retired for 20 years now, since he left Washington when he was in his twilight. Because his last year was the year before LeBron came in.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron's been in the league. This is his 21st year. I don't use, and on the flip side is LeBron didn't go to college. So I'm not going to use it against him that Jordan won the one championship. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to be like, "Oh, he won the tournament, Jordan didn't." Well, Jordan won in college and LeBron didn't. So for me, he stays firmly at number 2. He doesn't take 1 inch closer to Jordan. I think for me, if you're going to pick someone that's better than Jordan, you don't have to talk yourself into it.
Right.
You kind of like the resume is there. You do the eye test.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk yourself into it. So the fact that I would have to try after all this time to be like, "Oh, maybe it's LeBron." No, I still really think it's Jordan. But I don't want to speak for you. I feel like I am. What does this elevate LeBron a little bit, inch him closer, or just stays the same?
Once again, I never thought that this tournament was going to elevate or diminish anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's like in the end of New Orleans would have won it. Does that make them a great team? No, they just won this tournament. For what we just said, anybody can win a game. You know what I'm saying? The true mark is, can you win a series? You know what I'm saying? Wasn't the best out of 3. It was one game.
Yeah.
One game. You can have off game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't elevate it, nor does it diminish it. I just think that it's cool for it to be inaugural, and it was the first thing, because we had to kind of get adjusted to it. I still don't think the best teams even made it to that tournament. In my opinion, because out the East, I still got Philly. Milwaukee made it, but Boston wasn't even fully healthy. They Porzingis ain't play.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take it beyond that, bro. I didn't think that, especially with all the celebrating and all that stuff, man. I looked at that, and I'm looking at the like thing being rolled out like it was a championship or something. You know what I mean? Confetti falling from the sky. I'm just like, yo, y'all doing too much, man. Like, am I missing something?
Right?
Like, y'all know I'm missing something. Like, am I missing something? Like,
yeah.
I didn't even watch it, like, fully watch it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't watch like I would watch, like, the finals. You know what I mean?
Right.
With all the hype and all the energy. Like, the energy of the finals, bro. I didn't feel that with this.
No.
I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that type of vibe or energy, bro. I just thought it was good. It was something that the league is trying. I still don't think it's going to happen.
Something to market.
Yeah, it's good market. I mean, it's good, something that we tried out. It's always, I'm good with trying something new. I'm not a dinosaur, man. I'm not stuck in my dinosaur ways. Okay, I'm with it. Like I said, grew on me as it went along. And hopefully in the future, it'll be one of them great things. I don't know, but you still can't compare it to the finals. It would never be, in my opinion, comparable to the finals. I don't care. LeBron James won 8 of these tournaments. It still wouldn't equate to 1 championship. He could have won 8 of them. And Torrance still told me, yeah, he won 8. You hear me? It would never equate to 1 championship, brother. And that's just my opinion. It don't weigh up. It don't add up.
It is not just your opinion. Yeah. It is not.
Yeah.
It is also my opinion. Everybody who's listening, and even those who aren't, those 6 or 7 people that are not listening to our podcast right now.
I need to wake up and get into them.
So we're in agreement with that. Well, moving on in the NBA, what are your thoughts quickly about Draymond Green getting tossed again
I mean,
I
Draymond,
really
you know
think at
what,
this point the production is not
bro?
meeting the fact that
I'm about
he
to say that.
cannot control himself.
I'm about to say that. I said at this point, like we was cool with your antics when your level of play was up there, because we'll say we equated that to passion. Okay, you know Deron's passion. He's the heart, the soul of the team. He's the engine that makes it run. Back then, it's cool. It was one of the things where like, yo, you doing a lot of BS, bro. But we won't let that slide because of your upside, right? But now that the upside is diminished, now you look like a bully. Now you're looking like a bully, bro. And I don't like bullies. I know, man, you feel the same way when it comes to that. I don't like bullies. I don't like a joker get on this court. And now it ain't about basketball, but you getting your sick stuff off, man. Okay? All right? Because it said it was an incidental, because I watched the play. It wasn't like my man did something crazy, okay? You know, it's contact, it's basketball, man. This is basketball, bro. You're going to have contact, incidental contact. What you did was just blatant crazy. You're going to smack him in his face. And it's an intimidation. It's an intimidation thing. You're trying to intimidate him. Okay? That's what you do. You punch teammates in the face. You throw tantrums on the court. You argue and get texts. You get thrown out of games. I couldn't play with that guy, man. Like, seriously. And I know they old and they grizzled and they just say, oh, no, that's Draymond. That's Draymond. No, Draymond need to grow up, man. You need to grow up, man. For real. This is getting old, outdated. It's terrible, man. You know? Like, for real, we get tired of your press conferences. Why are we even talking to you? What do you average? 10, 10, and maybe 10? You feel me? You know what I mean? We put a microphone in your face more than Steph Curry, who's clearly the star of your team. And he don't even act out like that. You feel me? I couldn't accept it from Steph because he is the bona fide star of your team. You take him away from your team, y'all ain't winning that many games. It's been proven. Okay? You can have Draymond on there and let Steph get hurt. And let Steph get hurt and see how many games you're going to win with Draymond running your show. It ain't going to be what you're going to get with Steph Curry. So, at my opinion, brother, I get tired of it. I think it's childish. He needs to grow up. It's immature. He's a bully. And one day somebody going to check him. You know, unfortunately, they ain't got nobody on that court that's willing to get with him. You feel me? Unfortunately. But one day
he knows who to go after. He knows who to go after.
Yeah,
he knows who to grab from behind and put in a chokehold. He knows who to come with a flying elbow and hit them in the face. He knows who to do that. He's not doing that to the Joker.
No.
I'll tell you that. Not with his two brothers in the stands. No. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. He knows what and then he's like, I never apologize for my actions, but I'm apologize for this one because it was completely incidental. Dude, that's another thing that bothers me. Dude, just own it. Own it. You're going to get suspended anyway. So just own it. Say why you did it and own it and move on, because no one's buying that. No one's buying that you accidentally hit him with your elbow when you're spinning like that. Come on, dude. Come on. Be real, bro. You know, I don't like these guys that act tough and say, you know, they're from the streets, they're from the hood, and then they come with that soft stuff.
Okay. And that means what? And that means what? Because I look, and me being quote unquote a street guy, what the hell does that mean? You hear me? Because I could be the guy that was born and raised on the farm is probably tougher than some guys in the daggone street. And I'm being honest. He's a hard worker, like a real hard worker, lifting bales of hay type guy. You feel me? Dumb strong. You know them retarded dumb strong
country
guys.
Strong.
They country strong, like country buck strong. You know, I'll put my money on that country buck strong royal guy than I would that street guy. I ain't talking about guns and pistols, and we go there too because they shoot stuff too. They got to shoot walls and stuff off too. So we go there too. They play guns too. Okay. So all that street stuff, I'm from the hood, and who gives a damn? Excuse my language, America. Who cares? Sounds like a crutch. Okay? Sounds like a crutch. It's an excuse.
For real.
For your behavior. You're grown. Stop acting like a grown man. You got a whole son at home. That's the message you want to give to your kid? Come on, man. Like a sore loser, man. Throwing tantrums, man. Stop it, Draymond. If you're listening to What's Good with Gil and Larry, and I know we're probably people on your radar because that much you're egotistical, and narcissistic on
Yeah.
top of that. You know, so these words don't really affect you none, but maybe they can penetrate your heart a little bit. Man, play the game, man. Your team ain't even have a winning record, man. Go out there and put on the ground, on the floor, man. Your team needs you. Okay? They don't need you to be serving 2-game suspensions, this suspension, that suspension. No, they need you on the court to be productive and do what you need to do so y'all can get back to winning Golden State football, Golden State Warrior basketball, man. Straight up. And if I was a
100%.
teammate, I would check them. If I was a teammate.
100%. And Steve Kerr is gotta put him on blast. Stop protecting him and put him on blast. He's hurting your organization. He's hurting you. He doesn't average 10 points anymore. He doesn't average 10 rebounds. He can't play all 5 spots on defense like he used to. Fine, you're getting older, fine. But don't have your production come down and the bad attitude go up. Come on, man. You're a grown ass man. Okay? Don't be making business decisions like your team needs you, man. Right. Your team needs you. Right. Golden State looks old.
They
Outside
do.
of Steph Curry, they look old.
They do.
Wiggins isn't having a good year. Clay's having a terrible year. And Green's not having a good year. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know where he
trying to get out.
Chris Paul don't know where
like
he fits in.
You know? Trying to get out. I'm trying to get out. That's what it looks like to me. I'm trying to get out. It's not working for me right now. I'm trying to get out. It's like a baseball manager wanting to get kicked out of a game. Game's not going his way, so he does something to get ejected from the umpire. That's what they're. Come on, dude. I didn't mean to do it. Really? I didn't mean to do it. You could watch that replay 100 times, and I want you to tell me the one time you're like, maybe it was an accident.
Ain't gonna happen. Come
on, own it, bro. If you're gonna do it, own it. But guess what? Don't do it. You look stupid. Moving on from that. Like I said before, the Joker got tossed on Serbian Celebration Day because apparently he said something. I don't know if it was directed to the referee, but in the referee's area that had been said by many different players, many different times. But him saying it, whatever it was enough for him to be ejected. Post game, he said, I've heard a lot of players say what I said and they get to stay in games, but I couldn't. So it is what it is. That's what he said. He kept saying that. It is what it is. So I don't know what he said because you know that there's curse words and then there's curse words. Mm-hmm. And there are certain words that trigger. Okay. So let's assume that he didn't say anything racial or inflammatory, like anything against, Black people, Hispanics, homosexuals. Let's women. Let's say he didn't use the magic words for them. Let's just say he did regular cursing, the B word, the C word. Well, the C word, that's women. And B word too, if you're going to be honest about it. The F word. What could he have possibly said that a lot of other people say, but him saying it got him tossed? That got me to thinking. Any ideas without saying it?
Man, well, I could think of, man, he might, like you said, say something like, man, get the F out of here, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's I know they go all the time. That man, and he probably said it, and and it probably irked underneath this sensitive ref skin. And then the skin, I don't know. Ref might be getting some back money, man. Then, like you get rid of him, they might have some bets on the Chicago Bulls or something. I don't know, man. We know it has been done before.
It's been done. Dennehy.
Done before. So I'm not saying nothing crazy, America. We know that the refs have been paid off to shade some points in the game. I just think that was real petty, dumb. The Serbian day. Come on, man. They all chirping. Man, ain't no basketball player on that court ain't chirping, bro. Facts. So whatever he said, it must have rubbed that ref the wrong way. So once again, I don't know what he said, but that ref must have felt some type of way. Obviously, he ejected him. I think it's bad for basketball. because I'm if I'm gonna go see Denver play, I want to see the Joker play. I don't want to see him get tossed. They got a good team outside of them. I can still watch Jamal Murray do his thing. You know what I mean? Outside of Jamal Murray, maybe that's about it. That's probably the only person I want to see. Maybe Aaron Gordon get a couple dunks or something, but it ain't like Joker though. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't know, man. I just think that once again, it's sensitive people with power. But
Well, that's
hopefully,
just it. They think they have power. They think they have a say in the game. People aren't going to these games or watching on TV to hear referees talk or to make a call or eject them. That's like what happened with Houston and the Lakers when LeBron James got into that little verbiage with Udoka, the head coach of Houston, and the referee is right there and he tees up Udoka. For what? For what? You can't let them talk? They're talking. They're not going to fight. They're grown men. They're not going to fight. You can't, you can't curse. It has to be under certain situations or it's got to be away from you. Come on, man. Come on. Don't insert yourself into the game. People come to see the players play. What are you doing? Getting rid of this guy because he cursed. He said something that you didn't like. Get out of here. You're supposed to be impartial. You're not supposed to have emotion.
It's a fact.
You're supposed to just call the game. When there's a foul, there's a foul. None of this, them talking. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. I want to see the best player in the league on Serbian Day celebration in Chicago. I want to see him play. They already have Murray out on injury. They already have Gordon out on injury. Hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Be better.
Right.
Be better.
Now I'm saying like I said, if it's a hard, intentional, try to hurt you type of play, yeah, get your checks out, eject them, won't need that in the game. You got the Draymond type of stuff, yeah, do what you gotta do. But come on, man, everybody's chirping on the freaking court. If you worry about what they say on that court, you don't need to be a ref. Straight up and down. Because every game, every player going to feel like you missed the call. It's just basketball. It goes with anything, any sports. I don't care what sport you play. And this is from playing sports. We always think that you missed the call. Man, you always just tapped me on my arm. You missed it. I'll get you on the next one, whatever. You feel me? This is part of being a ref. So if you that sensitive, man, you need to grow a sack, grow a pair, Mr. Ref, you know what I'm saying? And realize that it's bigger than you. Because we don't even know who the hell you are, to be honest. I don't know the referees' names at these games. You can announce them 50 times, I still wouldn't know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Anyway, let's get to the bread and butter of our show. Which is
all right. Let's start talking NFL, but we're not going to do our picks yet. Let's do a couple or a few headliners. Number one, got to give your boys credit. They took care of business and they did it big time. Big time. They won by 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to give you the floor on this one.
Oh man, thank you.
I was impressed with Dallas. Now I think Dallas has got a shot to win a division, possibly. Hey, this has got to be the biggest win of Dallas this year to this point.
For me, it was a game-defining moment because in the past, these are the games that we have not won. We're coming on a high, and these are normally the games that Dak will have a bad game, where he'll throw into double coverage, triple coverage, doing too much, forcing it. And I can honestly say with Mike McCarthy at the play call, and what he's been dialing up for Dak, he's been very comfortable in offense. The offense has been going fluid. It's fluid. It's been fluid. Every week it's been fluid. Dak isn't doing too much out what he has to do. In the past, it's always been Achilles' heel of him just doing way too much. Okay. Defense playing good. Once again, I think Philly just hitting that spot where San Fran even hit. A couple weeks ago, San Fran was in that same spot where they just got the rough end of the schedule where they took a couple L's back to back. Do I still think they're a Super Bowl contending team? I do. But even though with the loss that we gave them, Philly's still going to be a problem. If they can stay healthy, the key to this health. You know what I mean? If they can be healthy, we still going to have to play these dudes. So for us, man, we got a big game. We got to go play Miami. It's going to be a big game in Miami. They just came off a loss. But to keep it to the subject, I love us. I love how we looking right now. I think we definitely. I always felt we was a Super Bowl caliber team. We definitely look good. And at this point, I think Dak's playing himself into the MVP race. At this point, I can honestly say that there's not too many players I could think of consistently outside of probably Lamar that I could say is at an MVP level now.
What about Purdy?
Oh, and Purdy. I gotta say Brock Purdy. Yeah, but no, because he had that little lapse in the middle when they lost them 3 games. So that to me put a slight on his thing. And then I would say Tyree Hill, but what's called nullified him. Tennessee nullified him. They nullified him. I didn't think that was possible.
He re-aggravated an ankle injury, if you want to take him for his word on that.
Okay. Yeah, when you sucking in the game, I guess that any excuse is better than none, right? I get that part. Now y'all lost to Tennessee, but
I think if he played for your team, if he played for my team, I'd believe him. I think the fact that he doesn't play for either one of our teams, we're skeptical.
Yeah, I'm definitely skeptical. But yeah, man, congratulations, Dallas, man. My team, man, we looking good, man. I felt good, man, because I had a Lyft driver who was an Eagles fan. I felt sorry for him, but I didn't. I felt real good. I rubbing his chest. I said, yeah, feels good to be a Cowboy. Yeah. Go Cowboys. We don't got no theme songs. We don't got no theme songs. Okay, we just go Cowboys. We think about
How about them?
How about them boys? But anyway, how about them Bears?
Ooh.
Did we miss? Did we miss? Because I thought that maybe that was like an apparition, right? I thought that was something like a ghost. I didn't think that was real. What y'all did to the Lions, I thought that was a game. The Lions kind of just slept on y'all and they took y'all for granted. I guess I was wrong. I guess that y'all truly match up against them guys and y'all play dominant football. Y'all played some dominant football, man. Y'all looked good, man. I'm gonna give you that, brother. I thought maybe when they tied it up at 13, that was going to get away from y'all. Because that's normally when y'all kind of like implode. But nah, y'all exploded. Justin looked 100%. Great. Your defense looked great. They looked terrible. Y'all brought pressure. Y'all look great, man. I was like, man, Gil, we ain't picked this one. Whoo. Y'all look real good. Y'all put a complete game together, man. Yeah. I think that should quell some of that Justin Fields ain't our quarterback talk.
He's got four more games.
Yes,
four more games. So he's still auditioning. But to get back to the game, you're right. I was pleasantly surprised, but not shocked, because seeing them a few weeks ago against Detroit, a game that they were better for 3.5 quarters and then choked it up at the end. I still don't know how, even though I watched it, I still don't know how you're up 12 with 4.5 minutes to go and you lose by 5.
That part.
Still, that still amazes me. But needless to say, it shows that they match up well against Detroit. They shut them out in the second half and wind up winning by 15, 28-13. So I was very happy with that. Very happy with that result. The only disappointing thing was one of our starting defensive ends broke his ankle and he's out for the year. Yannick Ngakoue broke his ankle, so he's out for the year. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. So very happy that the Bears won, and I'm very interested to see what they do in Cleveland this coming week. I think they got a shot. I think they got a shot. How the defense is playing, obviously, I still think that the offense leaves some points out there. It was frustrating in the first half a little bit, but ultimately, if you can get around 28 every game and how the defense is playing, hey, I'll take my chances. If old man Flacco beats us, then that's all I can do. You tip the hat, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll call that game in a little bit. A couple other things, two other things before we make our picks. I want to know your opinion because it's been talked about every day for the last 3 days plus Sunday night. What is your opinion about the Mahomes slash Tony being offsides incident? Do you think, are you with Mahomes and Andy Reid saying that they deserved a heads up before they called that penalty and it was
No.
kind of
Why?
not cool to call that late in the game?
No. I
Or
think
are you on the other side where it was an obvious penalty? They don't owe you
no.
anything, and they called the right play. They didn't know ahead of time that Travis Kelce was going to make an unbelievable
Exactly.
play.
So at the end of the day, man, I think that Kansas City may know y'all need to stop crying. You need to stop crying, grown men. You stop crying, okay? Because it wasn't that one play, okay, that dictated that game, okay? It's not the ref is calling the game. It was a clean call. It wasn't like it was a call where they just came out the woodworks with the call. It was a legitimate call. He was offsides. He was in the zone. Now, say it had been the defense. Say the defense jumped. Say defense lined up wrong, right? What are we talking about? Oh, they should have made that call at that particular point in the game. Like you said, we didn't know that Travis Kelce was going to do what he did with that play right there. It doesn't matter. The rules are the rules, and what's fair is what's fair, bro. You know what I'm saying? The man was clearly in the zone. He was offsides. They called it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for Mahomes throwing tantrums and throwing oh man, you can't cussing the breaths out and dog, come on, man. Come on, man. That prima donna stuff, man. You feel me? Because ain't nobody saying nothing with Kansas City running around 10-3. You know, everybody doing a little dance and everything. But now that y'all 8-5 and y'all look like y'all might be struggling on the struggle bus this year, y'all
And
receiving.
here comes Denver.
And
here comes
Here comes Denver, who's playing good football at the right time. Like, you are not dominating no more. So now y'all have to deal with adversity, man. This comes with part of being champion, man. You gotta deal with adversity. It's y'all fault that y'all didn't line up right. It's Tony's fault that he was clearly offsides. No, the referees did their job. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. It's not no picks and choosies here. Now, if it was a blown call, there's something totally different. Now, you're talking about a blown call,
like the week before the pass interference.
Yes, now that's something totally different. Or either I go back in the day when we got robbed as Cowboys when Des Bryant clearly caught that football, but he didn't have possession. Get out of here. That's a blown call, Jack. And that dictated that game. Okay. This game was not dictated off of that one play, brother. It wasn't. You feel me? And then y'all did some old fluke play to get in the end zone. But at the end of the day, no, sir, I'm not in agreement with I should have gave you a heads up. It's not my job to give you no heads up. When the referees give them a heads up? Hey, Andy, you know your guy's offside. You might have throw this flag. Tell your guy. When did they do that, Gil? Could you please explain that to me? Is there a hidden code I don't know? Is it secret dialogue I don't know?
I've never seen a referee go out of his way to tell the player. I have seen many times, and I see Tyreek Hill do it a lot. They line up and then
they'll check in
to the
with
sideline and they point.
Yeah.
They're pointing to the ref saying, "Am I good? Am I good?"
Fact.
And a referee will either give him a thumbs up, or he'll do some kind of motion, and then they'll take a half a foot step back.
Indeed.
But
that's a fact.
You're not supposed to be ahead of the football that the center already has down. So it was up to Tony to get a hold of the referee and say, "Am I good?" Not to assume that they're gonna give you the heads up, which every single angle you see that Tony was over past the football. At least a foot. At least. That's minimum. At least a foot.
Exactly.
Maybe more than that. So the fact that they're asking and whining that the referees didn't get, Andy Reid would, it's embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
It was embarrassing that you're whining and crying about a play that's clearly a football.
Yeah.
It was clearly you were wrong.
Yeah.
You were wrong. So
especially since you got a BS call late in the Super Bowl that really dictated the end of the game.
Exactly.
It really did. You got a call during the same play that the Eagles did not get a call.
It's a fact.
Which did not give them time to set up for a final drive. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Now, I like Patrick Mahomes and I like Andy Reid too. To me, it came across as frustration from Patrick Mahomes instead of putting it on who he needed to put it on, which are his receivers, in particular Tony. He just took it out on the refs. He started moaning and groaning when he went to shake hands with Josh Allen. He needed to do that to his own teammates. And some guys don't do that. They don't call you out when things happen. Other guys do. Aaron Rodgers does. He'll do it during the game. He'll do it in a post game and stuff like that. And people make fun of him for that. They make fun of him. Oh, how come you don't take accountability? Why are you pointing him out? So maybe that's what Mahomes is thinking. I want to wring this guy's neck, but I'm not going to do that because I know how that'll look. But this has got to come out of me because I'm going to pop. So he just took it out on the refs and started running his mouth. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that that's why he did it, because the very next day he was completely apologetic, completely said it can't act like that, and I owe Josh Allen an apology. So I'm going to give him credit for that. Andy Reid, I didn't hear an apology, so I'm not giving him credit. Mm-hmm. So again, we're in alignment with that. It definitely came across as sore losers, crybabies.
Yeah.
And if you're frustrated, be frustrated at the people you're supposed to be frustrated. Buffalo Bills, they deserved that win. And by you acting like a clown after the game, that took away from the fact that they beat you at home.
And for all the kids out here, man, all the competitors, the players, play sports, whatever you do, man, hey, what we're talking about is accountability. Be accountable for your actions, and don't be no sore loser, man. You know, because when you win it, it's all good when you win it. But no, you got to take your losses like you take your W's, man. And that's our lesson from Gil and Larry to all the kids and everybody out here in life, man. And you're not always going to win. So you got to be just as gracious with your losses as you was with your wins, man. Straight up.
100%.
I ain't saying you have to accept the loss. I'm just saying you got to be gracious with it as you was gracious with your W's. Straight up.
100%. There was this little hockey player that used to play. His name was Wayne Gretzky. This dude won a lot. This dude has many records in the NHL, some of which I'm pretty sure will never, ever be topped. But you know what I really, really liked about him? When he lost, he was the first guy to skate over to the other guy, the other team's bench, and shake their hands. The first guy to do it. Win with class, lose with class. Indeed. Wayne Gretzky. Look him up. That's for the kids out there. I know you know who Wayne Gretzky is. The last thing before we make our picks is that there are reports now that Bill Belichick will leave New England after year end. Him and Kraft have come to a meeting of the minds, and he's not going to be fired, but they're going to come up with some story where, you know, he took it upon himself to leave and he's going to get out of his contract, and Kraft is going to give him a soft landing. But they said what the tipping scale on what was the absolute end of the era for Kraft and Belichick was Belichick losing out in Germany. That game meant a lot to Kraft, and it seems like when the Patriots really looked terrible out in Germany, that's when Kraft made up his mind. And you know Belichick at this point, he is not going to relinquish his power to picking players and being the GM. So if he got approached, and I don't know that he did, but if he got approached to where, listen, we love you as a coach, you're the greatest coach in the history of the NFL, we think it's time for us to bring in a player personnel guy, a real GM. You know Belichick's like, you know, I'm not taking a demotion here. That's my ego is not going to allow that. I will be able to have the same power that I want, and I will start fresh somewhere else. Now he might be wrong. You know, he might find a team that he likes, that he wants to coach, that's not willing to give him that power, and then he's going to have to make a decision. I definitely think he's going to want to come back next year. We already talked about him wanting to break Don Shula's record, and I think he's like 9 behind now because he won his last game. So he's either going to need a pretty good year next year, or he's going to need 2 mediocre years. So he's going to look to sign with somebody. He might have to swallow his pride and actually give up, player personnel kind of things and just do the coaching thing. If he's got the opportunity to go to the Chargers,
and I was thinking about that.
And some of those guys on that roster, I think you do it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, Chargers would definitely be a spot. I wouldn't dare go to Carolina. I think they'll give him what he wants down there, but I wouldn't do it down there. That'd be dumb, because especially trying to build a legacy or actually get that win, you're going to have to go to a team that's almost there. It's really literally a coach away or a player or 2 away. You can't go to a rebuilder because you just left New England, and then you might stay in New England for all that. You won't be with a rebuilder. You didn't did it. I mean, come on, I mean, all good things come to an end, bro. Like at the end of the day, all good things come to an end, man. He's not gonna be coach forever. The Chuck Knowles, the Jimmy Johnsons, we go on and on about these great coaches, man. That eventually the Landrys,
Bill Walsh,
Chuck Knowles, Bill Cowher,
Bill Parcells.
We can go on and on. You feel me? It comes a point the javelin must get passed on, man. You know what I mean? He did great things. I mean, you can't knock his legacy. It's always going to be submitted with Tom Brady.
Right.
And that's the reality. Is Tom Brady always gonna be linked with you? No, because he went to Tampa Bay and got one. So that helped solidify him, saying like, nah, it ain't Belichick that got me these rings. It was me. You feel me? Now, my situation was better in Tampa Bay because they was only a quarterback away. So it wasn't like he went to a bottom feeder. He went to a team that was literally a quarterback away. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Arians, great coach. Great coach. Great coach. I don't care what nobody tell me. He was a good coach.
He's a great coach.
He's a great coach. Why? Because Todd Bowles can't do what he doing, even though they're winning their division, believe it or not.
Yeah, they're in first right now. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-way tie. Oh my God. Terrible division. But yeah, man. If they move on, man, I'm saying that New England need to move on from him. Come on, man. You gotta bring some friends, because I think it will help Mac Jones' career. I just don't think that he buys into the Patriot way. Word. It's like, nah. I mean, it's the new era, bro. Nobody's trying to be in the military. You know what I mean? It's like you go play New England, it's like going to boot camp, man. You feel me? Like, nah, hell no, man. Hell no. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that one, man.
I feel you. It's too early for me to see what would be the best situation because you don't know what job openings. But right now, it'd be hard to find a better, at least coaching situation than he could get, with the Chargers. Now he'd be in the same division as Kansas City, and he'd be in the same division as Denver, and those are 2 future Hall of Fame coaches in their own right. With a couple of pretty good quarterbacks too. So we'll see. He'll have his work cut out for him if he chooses to go there, but only time will tell. One last thing before we make our picks, real quick. Cam Newton has a podcast like half of America does, and he got asked about a few different guys. And the 2 that stood out to me were Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. And he called them both game managers, not elite. They're game managers. Just don't lose the game for the team. Do you agree?
I do not agree. I do not agree that.
Do you have, or we'll do this. Do you have them closer to elite or closer to game managing?
Nah. At one point, I said that I felt that Dak might have been a game manager, but at this point, they trust him with too much of the offense to manage the game. When Brock Purdy first came out, I could have said, yeah, I thought he was a game manager because they just didn't want him to do too much. But man, they trust him. That's their quarterback. You know what I mean? That's their quarterback. So I can't say game manager. He's not game manager. He's elite. Because he makes that team straight up. You seen if you take him off of that team or they're the same team, they're not. They're not. With him, they could beat anybody. Clearly beat anybody. So no, I don't believe that. Now is Zach Wilson a game manager? Yes. Is Ritter a game manager? He's a bum quarterback, yeah, but he would be considered a game manager to me. Um, shoot, it's only a handful of the elite ones in the league. I ramble them off. Lamar, Mahomes, Josh Allen. I would give now does Jared Goff fall in that category? Because is he
Jared Goff? He was another one that Cam Newton said is a game manager.
Game manager, right?
He said Jared Goff. He did.
Because he's borderline with me. You feel me? Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback. Give or take. I mean, he's old now. He's old. Gino to me is a game manager. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's but to say Dak and Purdy are, nah, I'm gonna give them game managers. Nah.
I can't see how Dak and Purdy are they're two of the top guys that are possibly going to be the MVP this year.
That's a fact.
They're both top 5, maybe top 3, both of them. I don't know a game manager.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
That has a shot to win the MVP. Listen, you don't have to be the best player on offense and be considered a game manager. Joe Montana won 2 Super Bowls with Jerry Rice. Who's the better player?
Oh, clearly.
Jerry Rice
clearly
is the better player, but Joe Montana is no game manager because he had Jerry Rice and John Taylor.
No.
And Roger Craig. That doesn't make him a game manager because he had other great players around him.
And then
Look at Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Who was the best player? Who's the best player on The Greatest Show on Turf on offense? Who's the best player?
Probably Marshall Faulk.
Marshall Faulk
or Terry Holt.
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall
but
Faulk
it was Kurt Warner that won 2 MVPs.
Yep. So I don't believe in that concept.
Player.
One, you got to be able to distribute the ball to your players, right? To your playmakers, right? You got to put them in position to be successful, correct?
Right.
Does not that or Brock Purdy do they not do that well? You feel me? You still got to give them the ball. You know what I mean? Because we didn't see bums get in that same situation. Now was what's my man that was a backup for us last year? The redhead guy.
Rush.
Now he's a game manager, okay? We had all them pieces of the puzzle, but they didn't move as effectively with him behind the quarterback position as Dak was. You feel me? Because once again, you got the same moving parts, but they just don't move the same. So you got to give him this credit. You know what I mean? He's been in the league too long now, and that's why we get on him. That's why we get on Dak at times, because we be like, yo, he's been in the league too long, and you done seen too many of these coverages for you to make some of the throws you're making, for you to be throwing into some of the coverages you're throwing into. Okay, that's what we get at him about. Brock Purdy, we give him a window because he's still a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But game manager, heck no, bro. He's past the game manager, in my opinion. He is definitely the future. I'm putting him in the nowadays quarterbacks. I'm getting him with the Trevor Lawrences, the future quarterbacks, the Joe Burrows. I'm putting him in that category, bro. He's in that category to me. You know what I mean?
San Francisco right now is favored to win the Super Bowl.
If
they win the Super Bowl, how big of a hand is Brock Purdy going to have? I think he's going to have a very big hand.
Very big hand.
Very big hand.
Now,
I don't think they win the Super Bowl because the defense is the defense is good, but they're not going to win it like the 2000 Ravens, where the defense just doesn't allow all the other teams to score. So all the offense has to do is put up, 10, 13 points like they did with Trent Dilfer, right? That's a game manager. Purdy's going to have a big hand in it. Purdy's going to throw for touchdowns. He doesn't have to be the best player or the second best player or even the third best player. He just needs to make the plays. His quarterback rating is so high. His efficiency is so high. What are we gonna Why? Because he didn't have 2 running touchdowns like Cam Newton used to have in his prime. He's a much better thrower and far more accurate than Cam Newton ever was.
He definitely was.
By far. By far.
Well, Cam
Far.
Cam Newton still thinking about playing this league right now, so he's
Yes.
delusional. He's
I think
delusional.
that has something to do with it too.
He's delusional.
Something to do with it too. He's like,
He's going to pit them down. He's going to pit them down to boost his own self up. So I see that play, but dog, come on, man.
Let me tell you, I hate that. I hate in order to bring yourself up, you got to put someone down.
Yeah, I never agree with that, man. I never like that.
I'm not down with that.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Never was.
That's a sucker in so many words. It's a sucker, man. That's what suckers do. You feel me? They'll pit you down and try to boost themselves up. Nah, man, go get your own, man. And come to the reality, bro. You went to a Super Bowl and you lost. I mean, you went. I accomplished. You had a great year.
He had a great year, but that ball was right there on the ground, and he never made an effort to go get it.
I'm just saying.
That's how I remember it.
I'm just saying.
I remember him in the post game.
Yeah, he said.
I remember the sourpuss.
He said, I never had fun that game, man. I never had fun. There's so much going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Play better.
Play better.
Play better. Stop making excuses. Stop pointing to other people. You're a grown man. You were smiling a whole lot that season. You didn't play well in the biggest game of your life. Play better, man. Play better. And stop trying to bring down other people because they don't play like you. They're game managing. Get out of here with that junk. Get out of here. All right. You know what, dude? You, me. Let's make our picks. You ready?
Let's go, man.
You ready? I gotta tell you, my picks were awful last week. Awful. I was under 500. Terrible.
Look, we ain't talking about terrible. We talking about terrible, and I ain't talking about Pittsburgh towels, man. When we talking about terrible towels, because I was terrible too, brother. You hear me? Oh,
by the way, I got a Jets towel. They were giving them out. They didn't give them out to everybody, but I think if you were like one of the first 20,000 people to show up, I'm just pulling that number right out of the air. But I got a Jets terrible towel that was there, and I was swinging it too. I was.
Oh no!
I was. Yay Jets! Yay Jets! Anyway, hey man, when in Rome,
we do what the Romans do. Let's go.
Bingo.
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's make our picks. Thursday, December 14th. That is tomorrow. We have the Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's on Amazon. Las Vegas is a 3-point favorite. Now, you know Herbert is out for the rest of the year.
Oh, because his finger.
Yeah. Out for the rest.
And I don't got too much confidence in the backup, but I ain't got no confidence.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who their backup is either, but I ain't got no confidence in the Raiders either. That dismal performance they get against the Minnesota Vikings, you only put up 3 points. That is terrible, man. Terrible. For the points, just give me the Chargers. Because I don't even know who the backup is. Strelly sucks. He's going to be fired. But I don't know. I don't believe that the Raiders should be a 3-point favorite for anybody. So just give me the Chargers for the points. Raiders will probably win the game, but give me the Chargers for the points.
Yes. We already start off disagreeing. Yes. That makes me happy. All right. I'm going to take the Raiders. The Raiders are at home. And
we're home against Minnesota. And they got blanked.
Minnesota scored 3 points in that game.
I know.
The Raiders were good. Minnesota just wasn't as bad. They scored 3 points. The Chargers' last win was against New England. They scored 6. They won 6 to.
Yeah, they did. They won with Justin Herbert. Yeah, you're right.
And the Raiders have played this quarterback longer than whoever the Chargers are putting out there.
That's right.
And they're at home. They're going to feel the home field advantage. I'm going to go with the Raiders. Okay. Guess what? We got 3 games on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
The Saturday games start this year. Not this year. The first time this year. 1 o'clock, NFL Network, Minnesota at Cincinnati. Minnesota won a terrible game, but they won 3-0 late in that game. Cincinnati looked awesome, and I picked
They
against.
did.
I am not making that mistake again.
Brown, it looks real comfortable, man. Offense and Zach Taylor, or yeah, that's their coach, Zach Taylor. I think he's starting to coach up to the quarterback he has. They got weapons around them, man, for real. And then Minnesota,
I
they
don't
got
have
Mullins.
Do you have the point spread on this game?
I thought it was. I want to
forgot.
say it was 6. I thought it was 6, but I could be wrong. But I thought it was 6. But
I didn't write it down, but I did pick Cincinnati.
I like Cincinnati too. I'm going Cincinnati, but I believe the spread is 6.5.
Okay, so we're both going Cincinnati on that.
Yeah, because they got Mullins starting as a quarterback, man. I don't care if it's Dobbs, Mullins, who the hell. I don't care who it is, bro. They are terrible, and they do have a defense though. So I'm gonna give them their defense. Their defense played a hell of a game. Their defense actually played a good game.
All right, so we're
it's 3. It's only a 3-point favorite.
Oh, so definitely Cincinnati.
Yeah, I definitely like Cincinnati for 3. Yes, sir.
Okay. 4:30 NFL Network. Your favorite team? No, they're not. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are only a 1.5 point.
Yeah, that's strange to me, bro. That's strange to me. I gotta go with the better team. I mean, Pittsburgh has been on off, and this would probably be the week they will win. But I'm just gonna go with the better team at home. So just give me the Colts. Even though Minshew them got beat. Because who's the quarterback for is
Trubisky.
Oh, he's still playing again?
Yeah.
Nah. Give me Colts. Give me Colts at home.
I am also in agreement. That line I think is a little funny.
It is,
but we had talked about the last couple of weeks. Stop believing in Pittsburgh. This isn't your daddy's Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not our.
You know what though? Because I might flop on this pick because no, I'm not. I'm lying. I like Colts. I'm lying. I can't, man. Trubisky is not that guy, man.
Right.
And then you can fire the OC all you want. It's just not like Ben Roethlisberger said on his podcast. He said,
"I heard
is lost."
I heard it.
He said, "It's bad coaching going on. Y'all burning timeouts at the wrong time. You're not playing situational football, as you alluded to. You gotta play situational football. You're not doing that. And now we're just getting caught up in the name. I'm not buying the Benz, bro. I'm gonna go with the Honda. Okay, yeah. So give me the Colts."
And Pickens has very bad body language when he doesn't get the ball, which is probably why he slipped in the draft. The night game, 8:15 NFL Network. The Denver Broncos, who I'm going to give a ton of credit to because I remember the first month of the season, I said they were the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Well, they by far are not, and they are making a playoff push. The Denver Broncos at the Detroit Lions coming off of a loss. Detroit has not played well for about a month.
They haven't, bro.
Detroit is a 4-point favorite at home.
Man, it's like mommy when Denver went and go play Houston. You know what I mean? On different, Houston defense is better. So I actually like Denver, man. Give me Denver with the points.
We are in agreement because I like Denver too. They've been more consistent.
Yeah.
And, Detroit,
the Lions are starting to. I think the Lions starting to hit that point where it's like we're not trying to lose. There's a difference between going out and win and dominating. Now they went in. The New Orleans had a struggle game. Y'all done blew them out. You feel me? They lost another game. So they're trying to figure it out right now. They're at that funky place in the schedule where they're trying to figure out how not to lose rather than how to win. Whereas Denver is like, no, we're clicking. We can win. We can beat. Our defense is playing better. Cortland Sutton and him and Russell starting to see eye to eye. The running back is going. Sean Payton is coaching it up. You see what they just did to the freaking the Chargers, which wasn't no surprise, So yeah, I like going to Detroit. It's gonna be a hard place to play, but I think Denver can do it this time. So give me Denver.
I'm in total agreement. I think Denver, as the season's gone on, they've progressed. They're playing well. Detroit, the past month, they barely beat Chicago when Chicago outplayed them. Then they lose on Thanksgiving to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have the big lead against New Orleans and almost coughed it up at the end. And then they lose in the rematch against Chicago and get shut out in the second half. I think I'm actually surprised that Detroit is a 4-point favorite. I could have seen them, like
I think because they want the
two
money
and a half
value,
maybe, but 4. I'm surprised.
and I think that because they're gonna probably have a lot of money value coming on Denver. More than likely, it's gonna be a lot of money coming on Denver. So it could be a Vegas play on that one, whereas the Lions might win by 7 because of the Vegas. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna think that far.
No,
That's how I've been getting hurt.
neither. The one thing about picks is don't overthink it.
Yeah, I ain't overthinking
Don't
that.
your first instinct that jumps at you, just take it and roll with it.
Yep.
Okay, Sunday, December 17th, 1:00. Atlanta against Carolina on Fox. Carolina is a 3-point home dog.
Yeah, I can believe it. Look, bro, I'm gonna make it real quick. I would never take Carolina, man. They're bad. Give me Atlanta. And I'm not an Atlanta fan because they're bad too. But I'll be darned if I'm gonna take a 1-10 team anytime. They are terrible. I bet it with them last week and I got burnt, bro. I'm not messing with them, man. No, I'm not messing with them. Tepper is a terrible owner. The coach, whoever he is trash. The boy that got sacked so many, he's leading the league and getting sacked, bro. So I like Atlanta. Actually, Atlanta should cover that. Even with Bum behind Ritter behind there. I'm not a fan of Ritter, but I just think Atlanta's better than Carolina.
Atlanta's got more talent, especially on offense. Ritter has to be a game manager.
Just
don't lose it for him. Just don't lose it for him.
Yeah,
that's
man.
all. I'm also picking Atlanta. Let me mark that down. I'm gonna make sure. All right, so we're agreement again. Okay, Chicago at Cleveland. Chicago is a 3-point underdog, so Cleveland is favored by 3 at home. It's in Cleveland. Joe Flacco played pretty well last week, I gotta say.
Give me Cleveland.
But he is still old man Flacco.
Yeah, old man, but give me Cleveland.
You got Cleveland.
I got Cleveland. Y'all run the ball. Y'all run the ball well. You feel me? One thing about Cleveland is they're good against the run. You feel me? And they can bring pressure. So that's my thing with Justin Fields is if you bring, like you said, going through your progressions, but if he takes off, he could create plays with his legs. So that's the only difference maker is that you still got to prep for him being mobile. But I just think that defensively that the Browns should be able to come up to play. And I think Flacco will probably look good again this week against y'all defense. So give me Browns.
Okay, well, we're going to disagree on this one. Although everything you said is true for the most part, I think it's going to be a battle of the defenses. The difference is Justin Fields just needs one play to take it to the end zone, one way or another, with his legs to buy time or with his legs to run it in. Flacco does not have that kind of ability.
No,
everything right, the receivers, the line, everything. He cannot, when all things break down, he is not going to be the one to extend the play and have a big gain, get that first down on third down and things like that. He's not going to be able to do that. If Cleveland can't run the ball, if they don't have success, and the Bears defense is balling out right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my chances with my quarterback over their quarterback, and I'm going to see a low-scoring game, but I think Chicago wins outright against Cleveland. Outright. I don't like that Yannick Ngakoue is out for the season, but it's not the biggest loss that we could have had. So I'm gonna take the Bears. We're in disagreement there. Okay, Battle of the Bays. CBS. Tampa Bay at Green Bay. Green Bay is a 3-point home favorite.
They just came a loss to the Giants.
They lost to the Giants, and Tampa Bay just beat Atlanta.
They just beat Atlanta. This is a hard one.
It's in Green Bay.
It's a hard one to call, though.
It's the middle of December.
Yeah, it's a hard one to call, man. But I'm gonna just take the home team. Give me Green Bay by default.
We're in agreement. You got a Florida team playing Green Bay in December. That's really all I'm going to say. Green Bay lost a game that they should have won, just because they're the better team, although we thought. And Tampa Bay, just when you start to think, maybe Baker is okay, maybe the system is okay, maybe they can win, then they lose.
Mm-hmm.
So they're up and down. Green Bay's kind of up and down too, but they had been playing pretty well up until they played the Giants. But maybe the Giants are a little better now than we thought.
I thought like them that game.
And the fact is, Green Bay took the lead at the end of the game. They just coughed it up because of Tommy Cutlets. We'll get into that later. So we're in agreement. We both got Green Bay. This one was a hard one for me. This next one. Still hard, even though I made my pick. The New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. CBS, Miami is a 8.5-point favorite. Now, I picked Miami to cover, but this is with the knowledge of believing that Tyreek Hill is going to play, because he did hurt it, re-injure the ankle. If Hill is out, I'm switching my pick.
Yeah.
I'm saying right now, I'm going with Miami. But if I hear the day of that he's not playing, he went through walkthrough and it's a no, I'm switching it to the Jets, not so much to win, but to not lose by 9.
I actually like Miami, man. I just think that what I saw with the Jets was what it was. You feel me? I thought the first half Jets what I'm gonna get. I can't get big up on Zach Wilson, because as soon as I start to sip the punch, he gonna let us down. So I think their quarterback play still shoddy, and I think that Miami had a terrible letdown game. You know what I mean, against Tennessee, which I thought Tennessee was just more physical, straight up. And now Miami, and I thought Miami truly slept on them. So I don't think that they're going to have that same problem with the Jets. I think, especially the Jets having that win, they're not going to come in and it's a division game on top of that. I'm not too big on that division games with that big a point spread, but I take the Jets. I take Miami for that point spread.
I'm taking Miami too, but like I said, if Hill doesn't play, I'm switching my pick. I'm switching it day of. Hill plays, he's obviously in the realm of the MVP talks. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't even think if he gets 2,000 yards, he's going to get it. And I don't think he's going to get 2,000 yards either. It just takes one bad game for him to throw all that off, or a subpar game, I should say. So we're in agreement, Miami, but I will change my pick if he does not play. I don't care what any of y'all say. I'm going to do that. Giants at New Orleans, Fox. New Orleans is a 6-point favorite at home. I'm going to tell you right now.
Give me the Giants. You crazy.
Give me the Giants, too.
I wish I would take the Saints. 6-point anybody. They're in the same category as me taking Pittsburgh as a 6-point favorite. You're crazy. No. No. Give me the Giants, man. Look, I'll die on that sword because I don't like the Saints. Is just so unpredictable, bro. And no. And yeah, they beat up on Carolina, but Carolina, I believe, like you said, I think that the Giants are better than Carolina. You feel me? So, and I think Saquon can get going against the Saints. So give me the Giants, man.
Man, Saquon almost coughed up that game for them.
He did.
He got real lucky, man. He got real lucky because that was a fumble. But Tommy Cutlets, Tommy Vito
Yeah, man.
went down there and won it for them. It seems like the Giants got a little mojo. It seems like
Yeah,
a
man.
little lightning in a bottle here. Not going to quite be a pushover at the end of the year, like we all thought they were the
Yeah.
entire. We're in agreement. I'm picking the Giants. I think the Giants could win outright.
I do
So
too.
I love the number. I love it. This is an easy one for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
I'm
is
getting
an easy.
yeah.
This is one I might put some shillings on
Yeah.
myself. Okay, now this next one was Houston at Tennessee, divisional game, CBS. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Stroud is still in concussion protocol.
Yeah, I
So it's
like
one of those
Tennessee.
things where if Stroud plays, I'm liking Houston, but if he doesn't practice and it gets ruled out, then I like Tennessee. I'm gonna assume that Stroud doesn't play.
Yeah, I like
I don't
Tennessee.
think he will. So I like Tennessee as well. I like Tennessee to win and cover the 2.5.
Yeah.
Tennessee, win or lose, they fight.
They
That head
do.
coach makes
They
them
do.
fight.
They
And I
do.
think they got a pretty good young quarterback. He's looking all right. He's pretty good. As long as they keep Derrick Henry in the offensive play call.
Indeed, man. That's the key with Tennessee with me. Don't go away from what y'all do. You feel me? Because y'all was going to him when y'all had Tannehill. Since y'all got Will Levis, y'all been going away from him. No, feed the monster, man. Feed the monster.
100%. While he still has some tread on those tires.
Yeah. So give me Tennessee at home. And then they're better at home than on the road.
Well, we're in agreement there too. All right. The next one. I got a feeling we're going to be in agreement with this one too. Kansas City at New England on Fox. New England is getting 8.5.
That's too high spreads, man. Damn. Oh my goodness, man. But New England can't generate no. I don't know because Bailey didn't look so bad. You know what I'm saying?
He looked good last game.
He did. And with all this bull crap going on, all this bull junkie going on with as Dion would say, Coach Dion, bull junkie. Give me Kansas City, man. Give me the Chiefs. I can't take New England.
Yeah.
They're trash.
We're in agreement. One team's good, the other team's bad.
Yeah, I can't. I know
New
they
England is at home, but Kansas City, they can play in that kind of weather.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, we're in agreement there. I think Kansas City.
And they need a bounce back game, a convincing bounce back game. Not though I just barely won type game. They nearly because too much chirping going on, too much getting talk going on, and they need a definitive game to remind you who they are. And I think that's the purpose.
Run the ball. Run the ball. If you don't have faith in your wide receivers and your tight end is beat up, run the ball, man. Pacheco can run. He can run. Okay, 4:05 CBS. San Francisco at Arizona. Arizona is a 12.5-point underdog at home.
Arizona defense is bad, so give me 49ers. I know that's a lot, though. That's a lot, man. You talking about that's a lot.
12.5.
You know
And
what,
the last time
but
a favorite like that was against Cleveland, and they lost.
Yeah, but I looked at what Seattle was it not Seattle, what the Rams was able to do to Arizona, man. They destroyed them dudes at home, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like San Fran, man. They just hot right now. They hot fish grease right now. And you got defensively, fish grease. So yeah.
You can't say it. Frisky.
No, fish grease.
Fish.
Hot
what word
as
is that?
fish. Hot
Look it up.
as hot
what
as
word is
fish
that? What
grease.
we're making it up
words. Now. Fish grease. Hot as fish grease.
Fish grease? You're saying fish?
Like fish oil, hot fish oil.
Grease.
Grease.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hot. Like hot.
I'll let it go. I thought you were saying frisky.
No, frisky.
They're playing frisky, and you're saying fish grease.
No, not frisky.
All right.
Hot as fish grease.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll allow it.
Hot they're playing.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So give me Sam. I miss a lot of points, man. It's a division game,
A
man.
lot of
That's
points.
a lot of points in division game, man. It's like one of them things where it's like what you said last week is too good to be true. It's one of them type of games to me. Kyler Murray couldn't go, but that defense is a great defense in San Fran, bro. And like I said before, the Rams, it's matchups with me, man. I don't know how San Fran matches up with Arizona, how they normally match up with each other. I know that the Rams normally dominated Arizona, so it was just a bad matchup for them. But I don't know if Arizona actually plays San Fran good. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm just hoping that between now and the end of the season, Arizona could win one more game.
yeah, yeah. I know y'all looking for that, right?
I'm looking for Carolina
Yeah,
to keep that
they're
number one pick.
definitely will get the number one pick. Because
Listen,
Carolina is not
until
winning
it
no more
happens, I'm
games.
not gonna bad mojo. Nope. We're in agreement, by the way. San Francisco, both of us. Okay, Washington at the Los Angeles Rams, SoFi Stadium, CBS. The Rams are a 6.5-point favorite at
I like the
home.
Rams. I like the Rams. I would never take the Commanders again. They're that bad, bro. I'll never take the Commanders
Six
again.
and a half. That six
Man,
and a half doesn't.
no, it doesn't because the Commanders are really that bad. You feel me? And I know this came off a bye, so I would think that with the bye would help their chances out. But they're that bad. Like when I took them against Miami, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Terrible.
Oh well, live and learn. We're in agreement. I'm also taking the Rams. Just trying to mess with you. Okay, now this one we might disagree on
Yeah,
this
the
one.
next one's gonna be hard to call.
Your Dallas Cowboys on Fox, 425 at the Buffalo Bills.
That's gonna be a hard
Buffalo
one.
is a
It's gonna be a hard one,
2-point
man.
favorite.
Buffalo been playing real good football, but I like my boys. Give me my Cowboys in Buffalo, in cold Buffalo, in freezing Buffalo.
Damn, look at this guy on board his team. On board. I disagree. I'm going with Buffalo.
Okay.
I think Buffalo is going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
And they are not a team anybody in the AFC is going to want to play. No, 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 no. They might have every game on the road, but I don't think anybody wants to play them.
Even
The
Baltimore?
AFC really this year is not that good. We went into it this year thinking there were going to be a lot of good teams. And, Cincinnati's probably not going to make it.
Nah. I don't know. Because Brown have been winning.
Kansas City is not as good as they were. I don't think anybody's great. I don't think there's a clear cut. Listen, I think Buffalo can still win the division. I think they can still win the division.
Miami's what? 8-4. It's Miami 9-4. I think Miami's 9-4, right? Yeah. So unless Miami implodes, I don't know.
9-4.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think Miami
They
still
got to
might
play.
be
They got to play each other one more time, and Buffalo already beat them once.
Yeah, they did. It's possible. But I like my boys, man.
Well,
I'm going with the momentum.
I'm going to go with Buffalo. Buffalo to win outright, but a good game. A good game. This isn't going to be one of those, oh, no, the Cowboys, they're fake. They're not for real. No, it's going to be two good teams slugging it out. I just think Buffalo's going to win. The 8:20 game on NBC is Baltimore at Jacksonville.
Now, in this one right here.
Jacksonville is a 3.5-point underdog at home.
I actually taking Jacksonville, man. I know Baltimore is a better team, but I'm actually taking Jacksonville for the points, and they might actually win. It's one of those games where it's a funny game to me, so I would take Jacksonville.
This was a tough one for me, but I was in agreement. I also took Jacksonville. That 3.5, it spoke to me a little bit. Jacksonville doesn't have to win. They just can't lose by 4 or more.
Yeah, that part.
And I can see Jacksonville playing well in this game, or well enough to cover their side of the number. So we're in agreement there. Both of us. Oh man, I made a mistake over here. That's a so we're in agreement here. One more game to go. Monday night, the 18th of December, Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks, ABC. Seattle is a 4-point home underdog.
I think it's a bounce back game for Philly, man. Give me Philly.
You know, I'm going to go with the Seahawks just because it's 4. If it was 3, I take my chances with the Eagles. But because it's 4, and the Eagles have been playing like poop the last couple weeks, and Seattle.
But then you gotta see where they played though. They played.
Yeah.
They have played the better 2 teams in the division though.
But they got beat bad by.
They got beat bad too though.
They didn't just lose. They got beat bad. San Francisco took it to them.
Yeah.
In Philly.
Yeah.
Dallas took it to them in Dallas. But you know, Dallas, the first time they played each other was close.
It was close. Yeah.
Second time wasn't close. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I think Philly might win by a point, maybe by 3. But I like that number 4. I'm gonna take my chances with Seattle. Seattle has a very good home field advantage, and Seattle historically in recent years has had Philadelphia's number. So I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with a trend, and I'm gonna pick Seattle. Plus, I like the fact that you and I can disagree on the game. We don't have too many disagreements. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Isn't that crazy? The Thursday night game we disagreed, and we only had 3 other disagreements. The rest,
Hey man,
only 3.
I'm just going off the eye test for me, man. You hear me?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah.
Couple of things before we leave. Have you watched a show on Max called Bookie?
No.
I recommend it. They've had 4 episodes. The 5th one is going to be on tomorrow. They show a new episode every Thursday. When I watch this show, I picture this show, you and me playing the 2 lead characters. Okay. I do. Every time I watch it, I put myself in the one guy's spot and I put you in the other spot. It's not my personality and you, but I'm saying I could picture us doing a show together, and that's our roles. Like I could picture you playing the one guy and me playing the other guy. There's a good chemistry between the 2 lead actors, and when I watch it, I think of the 2 of us. Okay. So I recommend our audience, and I recommend you to check out Bookie. It's on Max. It's Sebastian. What's his name? Melisako, something like that.
Oh, you're talking about the dude that played off of Suits, right?
No. He's an Italian American stand-up comedian. You'll know him if you see him.
Yeah,
you'll know him for sure. You'll know him if you see him. Did you see the Irishman a couple years ago on Netflix? Yeah. He played Crazy Joe, the guy who got assassinated in the diner.
Yeah. Oh, that's Sebastian.
He played Crazy Joe.
Okay.
He does voice acting too.
Gallo, Crazy Joe Gallo.
He played Crazy Joe Gallo, and yeah. So check it out. It's a comedy, and I think you'll enjoy it. I just when I watch it, I'm like, man, I could see me slipping in there, and I could see Larry slipping in there, and we could do this show. We could do it because there's a natural chemistry, and I think it would work. So check out Bookie on Max. And the last thing to bring up is you and I, along with our friend Michelle, will be doing a Christmas special on Monday.
Indeed.
December the 18th at 9 p.m. So we got 2 shows next week. We got a regular one on Wednesday, which will be on the 20th. And we got the one on Monday, which is exactly 1 week before Christmas on the 18th. And we're going to do it just like we did the Halloween one.
Indeed.
We're going to pick our top 10 favorite Christmas movies / Christmas specials.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling we are going to be overlapping each other. I think we're going to have like 6 or 7 of the exact same movies and specials. It's just going to be the order in which we have it in. But I'm very much looking forward to it.
Me too, man.
That will be on Monday night.
Oh, man, me too, man. Yeah,
Monday the 18th, 9 p.m. I don't want to tease it any more than that, but I'm going to put it out there and say I believe my list will be better than yours and Michelle's. Just like I thought the Halloween list.
Michelle be having some hitters, man. So I don't know, man. She be having some hitters, man.
She's got some good ones.
But
She's
she
got
definitely
some
has
ones
some
that
good
are
ones.
a little
She probably some
obscure.
stuff that I never even saw before. You know what I mean? But I think mine is too safe, man. I think mine is a safe zone, man. You know, oh well. I like what I like.
You like what you like.
I like what I like.
No apologies given. No apologies received.
Indeed.
You like what you like.
Like what I like, man.
And
Draymond.
All right, well, that's our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, checking us out. Remember, we're on every Wednesday, unless something happens, but every Wednesday at 9 p.m. But our next show is this coming Monday at 9 p.m., our Christmas special. 2 shows next week, Christmas special and our regular show. Thank you for tuning in. For Larry Loper, I'm Gilly Rizari. Bear down, Mike. I love you, Mary. And we'll see you on Monday. Deuces, y'all.
Deuces, man. Great show, partner.
My man.
My man. 100 grand.